Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning. So in the last class, we had discussed about input mask and data validation. A few more questions we will see regarding that, and then we will move on to queries, how to design queries in MS Access. Okay, share the screen. Okay, so here we are. Today we are going to start with input masking, right? So input mask I had explained. If you want to create placeholders for the data entry operator such that the data entry operator enters correct data, okay, and he doesn't have to figure out much about what all extra characters he has to enter. For example, if he has to enter something in the form of a phone number, if it and if it is like there has to be a plus symbol in the beginning, then +91, that is the country code, and then a dash, that is then a space, then the STD code, then again a dash. So or he doesn't have to worry about the dash, the plus sign, the space. Okay, so all these will come automatically as he enters the data. All he needs to do is just to enter the digits, right? So we will create the placeholders for them. So input mask is like a placeholder for entering correct data. So we are going to see a new question today. Insert a new field called credit in the table. Credit means how much the person has borrowed money. Okay, if a person has borrowed money from someone, so that, one second, or we can change it to maybe balance, savings. So there we are going to insert a field named savings in a table. So savings will be like, if suppose the person has some savings, so it should be displayed with a plus sign. Okay. And if the person's saving is going into minus, that is, if it is going into the negative, that is, he is not able to save anything, but his expenditures are a lot. Okay, he has to borrow money from here and there. So that is going into his negative credit. So we are going to insert a minus sign before that. So it should be preceded with a rupee symbol and have a sign in the beginning. Students, I'll tell you how to insert this rupee symbol. All of you might have seen the right side Alt key on your keyboard. Sometimes Alt GR is also written on that. Alt GR is also written. This is the right side Alt key. So this, you have to press this Alt GR plus the button numeric key with 4 written on it. Okay, and on top of it you also have a dollar sign. So if you press this 4 button, 4 numeric key along with Alt GR button, you will get, I'm pressing it right now on my keyboard. So you will get the Indian rupee symbol. This you will get only when your operating system is updated. Okay, it might not be possible in some of the versions of Windows 7, but in Windows 8 and Windows 10 you will easily get this. Okay, so your operating system should have the appropriate update for this. So it should be preceded with a rupee symbol and have a sign in the beginning. So in the beginning there has to be a rupee symbol. So there has to be a rupee symbol, and there has to be a sign in the beginning. So I will leave some space, and here plus or minus sign, whatever is needed. Okay. After that, 5 digits before the decimal point, that is, I should have 5 digits, for example 25,000. This is 5 digits before the decimal point and 2 digits after the decimal point, somewhat like this. Now let us check the input mask characters. Okay, so we'll go back to the input mask characters in our table here. Here we are. Can anyone tell me how we can get the input mask for this field? take a look first a rupee symbol, so that we will the rupee symbol will be added as it is, right? Then followed by a space. So rupee symbol space, these two are what? They are literals or constant values. Their values are not going to be changed. Next is I want a minus sign. So you can see the sign over here, that is hash. User can enter a digit, space, plus or minus sign. So one space I'm keeping it constant so that the user doesn't need to insert that, but the sign user has to enter. So for this sign I'm going to enter hash, and then I need 5 digits after the decimal point. So 5 digits, it's not necessary it has to be 5 digits. It can be 3 digits also, 4 digits also, 5 digits also, right? So maximum number of digits I am going to set. So I will be using which one? 9. That is user can enter a digit. So for this I'll be entering 9999.99. Okay. So I have entered this, and now this is going to be my input mask for this field. And the data type of this field, sometimes you can also, data type of this field will be what? Currency. Now this rupee symbol you don't need to insert. Why? Because currency data type is already going to do that for you. The currency data type by default uses the currency symbol. Okay. So this thing you can even just remove, just provide a space after this. Okay. Or no need of space also, it will automatically be there. So don't give a space, you can only give a hash, and after that you can give this input mask. So we are going to go back to Access and open our sample table. So we are going to do this on, we are going to add another field to this table. So I'm going to switch to the design view. So here I'm going to enter a new field, that is savings, and let this be currency, and I'll save this, come back over here, and now in the input mask I'm going to specify what? Hash. Okay, so I have specified this, and I'm going to save this, go back to the data sheet view, and here I'm going to enter the value. So suppose the savings are going in negative, so I gave minus 1000. Okay, and 0.00. Let me check what is the answer here. Yes, so you can see there is a currency symbol automatically added because the data type is currency, and a minus sign, and because I had provided a choice, that is it could be 4 digits also, max it should be 5
Ma'am,
digits. Yes.
ma'am, why you have given minus sign? Rupees cannot be in minus sign.
No, this is credit. This is savings, my dear. Savings of a person. If your savings are going in negative, like right now because of pandemic, people's savings are getting exhausted. Okay, तो
Okay.
लोग क्या कर रहे हैं, इधर उधर से उधार ले रहे हैं. So that is becoming what? It's like they are borrowing the money. There are no savings. Okay, this minus 1000 represents what? That I have borrowed this 1000 rupee from someone, and I have to return it back to that person. It's not my savings. Okay, it's becoming a liability for me. Understood? Savings are
Okay,
what? They
ma'am.
are assets. Understood? They are assets. But this negative value represents, it's a liability which I have to fulfill sometime. Understood? So savings can be positive. Positive means it is savings, and negative means I have borrowed this from someone. Understood? So
Okay,
you
ma'am.
can see over here, we are getting, that is maximum you can enter 5 digits, but you can enter below 5 digits also. Okay. So for the next one, I'm going to enter a plus sign, and maybe somebody has a savings of 50,000. 0.50 also I have added, although we never considered that. So you can have it. Now plus sign is what? It is understood that it is a plus sign. Understood? One second, let me just check the input mask over here. I'll just check the input mask once. Yes, it's there. Let us try to add a negative value. Yes, so now you can see that because plus is what it is obvious. If you are, you don't need to specify plus sign explicitly. In maths or mathematics also, you might have seen if any quantity is positive, you don't need to specify the plus sign. With unsigned value is considered as positive value, and a signed value with a negative sign, it is considered as a negative value. So this is how you can apply that. So one question is there. So we will take one question also. I'm just coming down. Yes. So we have this question now. Open the database, contact details created during the previous activity. So let us open contact details. Do we have contact details? No. Let's check contact details where it is, and we are going to work on that. So yes, this is the contact details. So we'll first create this, right? Okay, we have already created another database. So we will first close this database and we will open contact details database. So this is contact details. Yes, we had already created that. And I'm going to open it in the design. Fine. Down. So, okay. Open the table contacts in the design view that I have already done. Change the date format of the field DOB to medium date. So where is DOB? Yes, this is DOB and it is already medium date, right? Nothing to change. Add a new field named monthly income of the type currency. So I'm going to add monthly income. It is already there and its type is already currency. Change its format such that to show signed amount with no decimal places along with rupees currency symbol. Now we will not use this RS dot. We will use our own currency symbol, right? So how can you do this? I want you people to work out the solution. Tell me what input mask will I write for this question? Everybody, if you have your copies with you, do it in your copy and send me your answers through chat. Or if you can't send it through chat, you can speak up also or send me a chat on WhatsApp. I'm online on WhatsApp also. Send me your answers in the class group or you can send me on the personal desk also. Or if you want, you can just tell me the answer here also. It should show a signed amount with no decimal places along with the rupees symbol. This one. So rupee symbol will automatically come because of the currency data type. You don't need to worry about the rupee symbol. All you need to worry about is a signed amount with no decimal places. Any ideas, anyone? Prathamesh. Prathamesh, did you ask for a control?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so I'm giving you the control. Show me how you can do it. I've given you control here.
And the decimal basis is already 0.
But you have to set the input mask so that it accepts a sign in front.
Hashtag.
Write it. And then maximum currency value you can take up to say 5 lakh also, more than that also. I think this much is enough, right? Now save the table. Go switch to the data sheet view. Yes, now you try to insert a value in monthly income. Let's check. So we are getting this. Yes, so you entered minus 1,050 and that too without any decimal points. I hope everybody can see the screen. Please check it out. Very good, Prathamesh. So this is how you have to do it. Okay. Okay, Prathamesh.
Yes, ma'am.
Now you can just cancel the control from your computer.
Okay, ma'am.
Thank
Yes,
you.
ma'am.
Very good, Prathamesh. Okay, so very good. A clap from my side for Prathamesh for volunteering for this. Fine. So we got this answer, that is no decimal places and a signed amount. Save the table with the new modification and close Microsoft Access. Fine. Let's come down and let's take up another question. So in the last period, I had explained to you about data validation, field validation, as well as record validation. So let me first ask you, what is the difference between the two? Meet Chauhan, are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Can you tell me what is field validation?
Mm,
Yes, Vishwajit.
Ma'am, it's referred to the validation rule applied on one field, ma'am, of a table.
Yes, very good. It is a validation rule which is applied on a single field of the table, right? Anyone else who will tell me about what is record validation? Raise your hands. What is record validation? Yes, Brahmajot.
Ma'am, record validation is the validation which is imposed on any particular record in the table.
Okay, fine. Let me ask Arnav Rajput. Yes, Arnav Rajput. What do you have to say? Anything other than this?
Ma'am, through record validation, we can
Hmm.
restrict the user entering anything in the record in a particular record.
That is true, but how is it different from field validation?
Ma'am, in
That's what I have asked.
field validation, we just apply the validation rule on any single field.
And record validation?
We can apply it on a record.
That is more than one fields. Understood? In a record validation, the validation rule works on more than one fields. And because it is more than one fields, hence we say that it is a table validation or record validation. Understood? So we had taken an example in the last class, that is, say, yes, date of joining should be 20 years greater than or equal to 20 years more than the date of birth. So we had included how many fields? Two fields, date of joining and date of birth. That is the reason why it was a record validation. Some other examples are, you can check out this one, return date should be greater than issue date. So this can be considered. Can you just tell me, just take a look at the name of the fields and tell me what information could be there in the table. Table में किस type का information store है? Can anyone just guess? Return date and issue date. These two things are associated with what?
Ma'am, any type of library
Ma'am,
record.
online shopping.
Yes, exactly. Library. Somebody said library. Who was it?
Ma'am, Sakshi.
Sakshi, very good. It is a library data. Okay. That is, you issue, there is a date on which you issue the book, and the return date will always come after the issue date. It cannot fall before the issue date. So this is one validation, one record validation example for any table of the type library. Okay. Next is, we'll come to this hands-on computer. Open the database employee details created during the last chapter. Okay, so I'm going to open the other database. I'll close this, then I'll go to file, open, and this company database. Within this only I had created this employee details table. Right, now insert a new column in the table named promotion due of the type text with field length of 4 characters. Again, a very easy question. Okay, let me ask, raise your hands who can do this. Raise your hands. Read the question. Insert a new column or field in the table named promotion due of the type text with field length of 4 characters. ना तो यहाँ validation है ना input mask है. Very easy. You just have to set one field. What is that? One field property. Which field property? Yes, question is open to anyone.
Ma'am, we will add a new column named promotional due.
Field property कौन सी change करेंगे? बस इतना बताओ. Length of 4 characters. Length of 4 characters means which field property are we going to change? Those who have access opened on their systems right now, check and tell me which field property will be changed.
And field size.
Very good. Field size. Okay. So we are going back here. We'll go to the design view and we will add the field promotion due. So I'm going to add this field promotion due. So this is the field and its size is text only, that is short text, and in field size I will set 4. Okay. Apply validation on the newly added field such that it should accept the value yes or no only. So it should accept only these values, either yes or no. So we will be adding a field validation on this, right? So there is another way in which you can add field validation through field properties. For this, you don't need to go to the datasheet view, then go to the field validation dialog box. Rather, here itself, you can add validation rule. Okay. So what validation rule are we going to add? Promotion due. Now it should be either yes or no. Okay, so I'm going to write equal to yes or equal to no. Let's try this out. Okay, so we are going to first try it out. We are going to save it first. You may have entered a comma without a preceding value or identifier. Okay. I have used a double equal to sign, which is used in Python and other programming languages. So we'll see how it works. Okay, so here we are, promotion due. Let me enter anything else. So it's saying me one or more values are prohibited. That is, my rule is getting violated. Now let me ask no, it accepts. If I add yes, it accepts. Okay, let me try to insert no like this. No, it doesn't accept. Why? Can you tell me? What is the difference between
Because you had used the capital N there.
Yes, because
Yes,
here
ma'am.
there is a capital N and here there is small n. So I have to be very specific. So what I'll do is I will simply go back to the design view saying I should enter some value. Yes, because I might have set it as a primary key. That's why. So now I'm back again over here. Let me just use something. I'm just going to do some hit and trial over here, students. Okay. So just watch, sit back and just watch. So I'm just going to type yes, comma, yes, comma, yes, in 3 different cases, or promotion due in no, क्या हो गया? No, comma, no, comma, no. So I did this, and let me see, process may take a long time. Okay, fine, I don't have a problem with that. Okay, let me come back to my data sheet view, and now let me add. Yes, it is accepting. So why is it accepting now? Because the query which I added was, it was this: promotion due in or promotion due now. What is the meaning of this in? Students, in is a membership operator. Okay, I'll tell you, in is a membership operator. What is a membership operator? It says whether a particular value is a member of a list or not. So here we have, you can see there is a list over here. This is a list and this is a list, right? So this promotion due, whichever value of promotion due the data entry operator is entering into the table, into the field, it will check whether that value falls within this list or not. वो value इस list के अंदर है या नहीं. So whether, irrespective of whether the user enters all capital yes, that is also given in the list. If the user enters yes all in small letters, that is also in the list. So it means promotion due is either equal to yes or yes or yes, or promotion due, or I had explained what is the meaning of or, that is either side of or should be true, so that the result is true. Okay,
Ma'am,
so yes,
attendance.
okay, thank you for reminding. I'll take the attendance. Yes, I've taken. So or says that either side of or should be true. So over here, either the user will enter yes or no. So if he is entering yes, then again there is a choice that user can enter either this yes or this yes or this yes. All
Ma'am,
3 will be considered. Yes.
and what is the difference between these 3 yes you have written?
3 yes means actually all right now what you are studying, dear, some part you're just getting a small look or a trailer of programming. In a programming language, students, usually programming languages are case sensitive. Case sensitive means a programming language will differentiate between different cases. If I write total, and if I write total all capital, or if I write total like this, so these 3 will be considered 3 different variables, 3 different identifiers. There will be, that is, the programming language will differentiate between this total and this total. Why? Because their cases are different. The first one is capital case or title case. Okay. Second one is upper case. Third one is lower case. Understood? So all 3 will be considered as 3 different identifiers. Similarly, here if you only write promotion due equal to yes, that is, if you only write it in this way, is equal to yes. So what is it? It is title case. But you are, when the user is data entry operator is entering, the data entry operator is entering lowercase yes. So it won't be checking. Why? Because in programming languages, all these characters, they have certain codes. Capital letters have a different code and small letters have a different code. Understood? That is the reason why when they are compared with each other, they are considered as different values. Understood this? Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Moving to the next one. Also add another validation on the field basic salary such that the values entered should not be less than 45,000. Do it yourself in your copies and then tell me the answer. I'm giving you exactly 1 minute
Ma'am,
for doing this. Yes.
you are using an updated version of Excel or pirated?
Updated version of
Access. Ma'am, you have once said
Access.
you have gone to search button and type
My
Access
dear,
and
I'm going to upload this video on YouTube so you can ask me this question personally through WhatsApp. Okay, there I'll give you the proper answer. Here I won't answer, okay, because this video I'll be uploading on YouTube and I hope you understand.
okay, ma'am.
Okay, you ask me this question through WhatsApp, I'll give you the answer, right?
Okay, ma'am.
So also add another validation on the field basic salary such that the values entered should not be less than 45,000. Now who will tell me this one? There is a field named basic salary and on that you have to enter a validation. Anyone? Okay, can anyone take a control, request control? Okay, Brahmajot Singh, yes, tell me.
Yes, yes, ma'am. First, please go to that table, basic salary.
Yes,
Of
I'm
that
here.
table.
Fine.
Now in the design view,
Okay. I'll have
then
to first add the field basic salary. So I'm adding basic
yes, ma'am.
salary over here. Yes.
Now in its validation rule under
But first of all,
here the
don't you
setting.
think we need to change the data type?
Yes, ma'am. So it will be currency.
Okay, fine. Now tell me.
Now in validation rule, first we'll select basic salary record, and then under its validation rule, now we'll type square bracket, then basic salary, then close the square bracket, then greater than or equal to, and then we'll write the value 45,000.
Yes, very
Yes,
good.
ma'am.
So we have set the validation rule and you can see another field over here, that is validation text. You can also set a text, enter any value equal to or greater than, or I should write it this way only, greater than or equal to 45,000. So this is what, this is my personal error message which I have specified over here instead of the user getting a very lengthy access error message. Okay, so I'll save this and I'll go back to datasheet view and we have basic salary over here. So we will try adding anything. First we'll add 45,000. Yes, it is being added. Yes, so you can see 45,000 over there. If I add 46,000, that is also accepted. And if I add 41,000, then that is not accepted. You can see the error message which we had said, we are getting that. So you can just change it to any particular value. So this is how you can do data validation. Enter the values in the newly added field and close the table. Of course, we have done that. So with this, we complete our tables. Okay, that is all about tables, how to create a table, how to add fields into it, what is the design view, what is the data sheet view, what are the various field properties. We have already seen that. Okay, input mask and data validation, two very important properties. So we have covered all of them. Now it's up to you students to find out questions and to practice them, and I'll also be forming certain questions and sending it to you from time to time. Now next is access queries, very important. What are queries? So let's start with this. Second, because of this bar, I'm not able to access the commands at the back. 1 sec, okay? Just a second, students. Again, it doesn't matter. It should go in some time. Fine. So now I'm going to start with queries. Now, query word, it comes from the singular word that is query. Query means question. Okay, asking a question to the database. So you ask a question to the database and database sends a response. Okay, and that response is usually the data which you have asked for. Okay, so queries you can write a query for. We can create a query for performing the following operations on a table. Number 1, extracting information, that is select query. Okay, second is updating data, that is update query. Third is insert data, insert query. Fourth is deleting data, that is delete query. Now, what we are going to primarily see here is the first one, that is extracting information. Now, select, update, insert, delete. These are actually SQL statements, okay? But we are not going to study SQL because Access is fully graphical user interface software and you will be designing queries using the various features of MS Access, okay? So let's move on to our query section. So first of all, we need to figure out what question we will be asking on a table. And for this, we need a proper table. Okay, at least one table. There is a precondition for forming queries. That is, please write it somewhere. A precondition for creating queries in a table is there should be at least one table in the database. To create a query or a form or a report, you need to have at least one table in the database. जब तक आपका टेबल नहीं होगा उस पे ना तो आप क्वेरी कर सकते हो, ना आप फॉर्म डिजाइन कर सकते हो, ना आप रिपोर्ट्स जनरेट कर सकते हो. Okay, so you need at least one table in your database in order to create a query. So let's find out some proper question first. And for this, we will switch to another database, which I have already prepared beforehand, that is CompanyDB. And in this, you will be able to see, you will find a lot of different tables. I have a book table. You can just take a look at these tables for the time being. Just increasing the font size. So here we have, so book ID, book name, price, total cost, total copies, and how many copies are purchased. Okay, so this is a small book table. Next is city hospital doctors. So doctor ID, doctor name, mobile number, department, consultation fees, days, on which days the doctor usually does the visits, whether the doctor is a permanent doctor or not, joining date, and email. Okay, so this is what city hospital doctors.
Ma'am?
Next is, yes.
Ma'am, I mean that doctor's table, the email is in hyperlink.
Yes, the email will always be in the form of a hyperlink. Email and URL, website, that will always automatically take up hyperlink. All the Microsoft products do that. Okay, whether you are entering an email or a URL in MS Word or MS Access or PowerPoint or Excel or Outlook, everywhere it automatically changes into a hyperlink.
Okay.
Next is department. So here you can see the departments, and this department is for the employee table, where you can see ID, department number, that is DNO, DEPT, that is department name and location, then employee table, and here quite some fields, sorry, quite a number of records are there. I'm just going to, yes, so you can see over here that we have, okay, to enter none over here. I have used a total function also, and the first one is employee name, second is designation, then third is department, DEPT, then next is salary, date of joining, then you have HRA and TA. Okay, let us go to the design view, and I have not explained two things, that is how to create a calculated field. So let me tell you a calculated field. Okay, so to create a calculated field, we need to first have some fields in the table. So let me go to book, and over here I'm going to do what? I'm going to display total quantity. How will I get total quantity? Purchased multiplied by price, right? So this one I'm not going to calculate. Access is going to calculate it for me. So how to do it? I'll go to the view, design view, and over here firstly I'm going to add total amount. Okay, beside this, I'm going to select what? Calculated. So this will give me the expression builder dialog box, and here I will write total amount should be equal to price multiplied by the purchase, number of purchased copies. Okay, so it uses IntelliSense. So I'm just going to do it again. The moment you press this square bracket and P, it shows you both the fields in the table, price or purchased. If you just press enter, it will just complete the expression followed by a multiplication sign and purchased. So price multiplied with purchased will give you the total amount which is payable, right? Click on OK and save this and come back to your table datasheet view, and you will find that it automatically calculates the amount. Okay, I'm going to enter another value here. For example, I enter art of living, and maybe I take it as 600 rupees as the price, and total copies are 500 and purchase 350. Automatically, the moment I press enter, you can see it calculates the total amount over here. Okay, so this is a calculated field, and it is a very useful field. Okay, in case you need to perform some calculations also in your table, you can easily do that. So we are going to take up, wait a second. If we were seeing this employee table, let us form some query from this table. So I'm going to write a query question over here. The question is design the query using the following questions. So you can write it in your copy, students. Number 1, display all those employee details whose salary is more than or whose salary exceeds 50,000. Display all those employee details whose salary exceeds 50,000. जिनकी salary 50,000 से ज़्यादा है, उन employees का details दिखाओ. Now what query will do is it will just save a question. We will build a query and it will save that query, and whenever we want, we can just run that query and see view only those records which we want. We need not view the entire table as a whole. Okay. So how to create a query? Please watch it very carefully now. Okay. We will be first selecting the table. So our table is employee. If you want, you can close this table also. It's not necessary. Now we will go to create, and from create we will go to queries tab. Which tab? We'll go to the queries tab. And in queries tab, there are two options, query wizard and query design. So we are going to switch to query design. Okay. Create queries, query design. So we'll click on query design, and it will first show you a list of tables. And it will show you, you can either select one table, or you can select another query, or you can select both. Time is up for this class. So we will continue queries in our next class. I hope you all understood the basic idea behind queries, what we are going to do. Query means we are going to ask a question to the database, and the database is going to give me the processed information. Okay. So with this, we conclude today's class, and we will meet in the next class. Thank you, everyone.
Ma'am.